watching Umami.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah. So, I was away for a while because, I was moving into a new apartment, so I'm finally in a new apartment. And, I got my own little room I can work in now. Before, literally everything was just in one room. So, it's much better now. Yeah, so I'm working on this last episode of Interface, and it's taken me a long time. It's not like the first couple episodes, you know. Some of those episodes I did earlier in the season are like just like static images, basically. But there's a lot of animation in this last episode, so that's why it's taking me so long. So I gotta jog in Henrik, and I mean, I guess there's gonna be some spoilers if you're watching the live stream. I'm not gonna tell you it's like the story or what happens in the episode, but there will be some. I mean, obviously, I'm animating the shots, so. Yeah, so I have to color him in, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. Hey, JS Scott, thank you for that. Will there still be a Umami merch once it ends? Definitely. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna stop doing animations or making merch and that sort of thing. It's just the interface will kind of come to an end, and then I'm gonna figure out whether or not I want to start a new series or just focus on shorter videos. So that's all it is. I'm still gonna be here making stuff for you guys and music and that sort of thing. I've been making a lot more music recently than animation. So I mean, the channel might be more music centric after Interface is done, even though it already is quite heavily music centric. I'm not really sure. You know, I personally just find the Interface web series to be like one of the most difficult things I've ever done. So it's the more episodes you make, the more the story becomes integral to the plot, and after 24 episodes, you know, it becomes quite a difficult thing to write for. It's not so simple anymore like it was in the first few episodes. The first few episodes, it almost didn't matter what happened because there was no expectation. Anyway, I'm going to, yeah, so I'm just coloring this in. I've been thinking, are the hands symbolic for being able to control things in the web series? Well, Henrik's daughter took the form of a hand, and the idea behind that was that she takes care of the long-lost granddaughter, and the hands are something that can take care of people, or they can be used for force, I guess. And so in the wrong hands, I guess in the wrong hands, it's kind of like a play on words. It can be used for evil purposes, I guess. That's kind of the idea behind that, so it's been taken over by Greetings Robotics. As you can see, Henrik's wearing a dapper pink suit in this part of the episode. I mean, I don't want to give spoilers away, but it's kind of hard to not have spoiled, like, you know. You've seen him in his pink suit before. It's not really that much of a spoiler. Just that he becomes pink in this episode. Have you seen Sights, Sounds, and Conversations with Codex Encyclopedia? Is that like a review channel or something? I think I saw something. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry, man. I haven't seen it. Hopefully continue making the series. It'd be fun to just deconstruct either way. Yeah, I'm not just stopping. I mean, the thing is, I want to make the series end so that it doesn't, so the whole thing feels cohesive, you know? Like I've said on previous live streams, basically, if I were to keep going, the story would eventually get muddled down and bogged down with side stories and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to wrap it up, but I'll still be making animations within the same universe. So you have nothing to worry about. It's this sort of, you know, even Mischief and stuff, the characters not necessarily, doesn't mean that they're going to be gone. It's just that what is known as interface will be a complete thing that ends at 24 episodes. I just, let's see here. Hey, the colorblind, thank you, Matt, for that. The soundtracks. You know, the thing with episode 23, I almost felt like I overdid the music a little bit, because it was difficult to mix the voices. But I kind of just love the music for that episode so much, I couldn't not use it. I just had to. So, you know, some of the other tracks in the series are a little bit more mellow. But I don't know. It was a pretty dramatic episode. I felt like, you know, it needed to have some sort of dramatic music. TBG, thank you. Love from Canada, my friend. Hey, Jason, thank you. Always in the room. I'm the producer and editor on the show. Oh, and we do music videos, live sets, and animations. Yes. I don't think I've seen this show. You know what? I think something might have popped up in Content ID, because like every time my videos get put on something, like YouTube tells me where they are, but I wasn't really sure if it was featured or anything. I just kind of, I have no idea. Sorry, man, no one sent me a link, so I don't know. Will you release part 2 of Interface as one big piece to complement part 1? Greg, yes, of course I will, definitely. Question, are the sillier animations in the same universe as Interface? I'm not really sure, actually, but, you know, I thought about it, and I think it makes sense that they are. You know what, let me just, I have to check something. I have to check his belt, and I'm afraid that if I open up Premiere, I might give a spoiler away, so just, if you don't want to ruin the next shot, just close your eyes for a second, I'll tell you. Okay. Oh, you guys probably already saw this. Okay, his belt is red. Sorry about that. Yeah, his belt is red. What else is it? Yellow buckle. Okay. We've been airing interface on each episode, and they've always been getting a great response from our fans. Always in the room. Hey, man, that's awesome. I'll have to look it up afterwards because I wasn't sure I wasn't aware that you guys were reviewing it, but I really do appreciate sharing the web series like that. Remember a couple of years ago, I was at a balloon festival, but there was an Umami merch drop. So I spent the entire time trying to get a sweatshirt instead of watching the balloons. Okay, first of all, you're at a balloon festival. Like, what kind of balloon festival? Like a hot air balloon? The colorblind. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Honestly, I never think that almost paint-like animation would push my artistic aesthetic feels button so hard. Oh. You know, I think visuals... I mean, visuals are important in storytelling, but I don't think they're as important as sound design. Like, think about a radio play. Radio plays used to be quite popular, and they had no visuals. So, if you are able to have crude visuals, you could have a pretty good production going. And I feel like, you know, it's something about the crudeness and the lack of resolution actually kind of adds something to the aesthetic. It's almost like your brain fills in what isn't drawn because it's so I mean, it's detailed, but it's not detailed, you know what I mean? It's like rough. Sometimes I watch animations and there's so much detail and it's so clean and it looks beautiful, but it's like there's so much to look at that you almost miss like the big picture. And if it's like a crude kind of quick drawing, you almost like get the impression of an image, and the impression like is like processed by your brain or something. It's like impressionist painting art, you know what I mean? So you just get the glimpse of it, and you got an idea of what it is. Wonder if that has anything to do with how pixel animations are interpreted in the brain, you know, compared to like different styles of animation. I wonder. You know, I gotta be careful with this highlight here because it makes him look like he's kind of glossy. So I might just undo some of these and only put them where it makes sense, which is... I wasn't even thinking where I was putting it, but really I should be only putting it on his back shoulders because that's where the light is coming from. Like this. Yeah, that looks better. Otherwise he looks like he's like wearing a latex suit. Unknown user, I love you, man. You helped me a lot through your quarantine. Unknown user, thank you for the comment there. I appreciate that. Always in the room. I'm sorry, man. I might have missed it. Or I might have seen it, and I get a lot of emails, and I'll double check after this episode. My brain has been like scattered across. Like, I haven't been able to think straight recently because I've been moving past like month. But I'm finally back. I'm finally in this new apartment, so. Your music is a little loud compared to your voice. Okay, let me just turn it down. Is that better? Sorry guys if I can't answer all your comments, there's a lot of them. Are you taking this very animation heavy approach for the finale only, or will this carry into your next projects? I'm kind of going all out in this finale, but it's unsustainable as a YouTube animation channel. And so what that means is that I might actually go back a bit and try to make animations in the more simpler kind of style that I was doing initially in the channel. And you know, I can't really go 4 months before I release an animation, and this episode is like probably going to take me 4 months since I started making it, which was like a month and a half ago. It's just unsustainable. Like it's too much animation for like a regular release on YouTube, and just me, because it's just me doing it by myself basically, and Carolina helps me sometimes, but because it is the finale, and because the series as a whole kind of increased in animation throughout its production, I feel like that it makes sense for it to have more animation, and it's like the climax basically, you know, like there's gonna be some extra effort put in because it's the last episode. But when I go back to making my regular animations, I'll probably go to a more refined but simple. It's like a refined, simple look, which is they probably won't have full body motion like this, but there might be some of that. I mean, I've been getting faster at it. I mean, honestly, this drawing of Henrik running only took me like maybe 2 hours today, which, you know, usually I would not be able to get that done in 2 hours. It does require a lot of concentration though, and focus, and kind of like forcing myself to not get distracted. You should shop the final product to like Netflix or some shit. There's actually been like some interest in people trying to get me to do that, and who knows, maybe one day that might be a thing, but I'm not gonna push for it basically, unless I had like creative control over the project, you know? So I don't know if that would happen, but that'd be the only way I would do it. Otherwise it would like turn into like Argameda, or what do you call that movie? Someone would just fuck it up basically. There's a few directors though that I would be like, if like some director wanted to make like Interface as a feature film, and it wasn't me, and I was like, okay, well, I won't give you, you know, it doesn't have to be 100% creative control, but like, maybe we can like work on it together or whatever. There's some directors I would probably go for. SWAT team, how do you come up with these philosophical phrases and sentences in some of your videos? Are they like shower thoughts or things you've truly pondered deeply on? they're not shower thoughts necessarily, because I mean, I don't like think of them in the shower and be like, oh, I'm gonna write that into the episode. But every episode, I try to think of what the themes are, and the themes of the episode, what the episode is trying to say, and then I don't know. I don't really like write dialogue. Like I don't write like people having conversation necessarily, but I do think of like, I guess like philosophical ideas, but they're not. I wouldn't necessarily call them philosophy. I guess they're just kind of. I guess they are philosophy. It just comes out of Mischief's character because he is kind of like this cosmic being, and it's almost like he has so much information that it's hard for him to not like have wisdom or just thoughts come out of his mouth. You know, like, but, you know, at the same time, I drew his hat inverted. Hold on. Oh, you know, but the thing with Mischief is funny that at least he can be silly while he's also saying these cosmic thoughts, you know? Have you ever played an old horror game called Faith? No, I'm sorry, man. Keek Enox. I'd love to see serious little shorts too. You know, that's kind of what I was planning on doing actually, is to make kind of like standalone shorts that kind of have the seriousness of interface. Because so far all my shorts have basically just been comedy, I think. I mean, I guess the Soup Sun is kind of a mixture of the two, which is sometimes it's the best. It's a mixture. But maybe just have a few serious ones by themselves. That might be kind of cool. The thing is, the problem with doing serious animations is like it's really hard to make it not come across as pretentious, and I think I can get away with it, but sometimes it's just you have to be careful because it does. Sometimes it comes across like you can make things pretentious, basically, you know. I don't think interface is like that, because there's moments where anytime it's starting to get a little too heavy, Henrik will, or Mischief will just do something to kind of break the illusion. Like, for instance, at the restaurant episode, and it's getting the guys talking about like camouflage and all this sort of thing, and then right at the end, Mischief just like turns into a horsefly and like calls out the guy for being weird in the middle of the room. I think it kind of like lets you get away with more of the heavy topics. Hey, Umami, season finale or series finale? It's series finale, you know. And I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do like interface part 3. There's no plan to do it right now. So it might be a thing in the future, but probably not, because interface is basically the story of Henrik, even though Mischief is like the main character. And Henrik's story, I feel like, is coming to an end. So. Hey, longboard sword style, thank you. Oof, a lot of comments here. Ricky Banus, thank you for your comment there. And Monster CC. Trying to get everyone here. I'm sorry, everyone. I can't read them all. There's so many of them. Yeah, I mean, interface is like I haven't really been able to break the. I mean, I've obviously grown on YouTube, but I feel like it hasn't really. The series hasn't really broken, like, gotten on the YouTube algorithm very well. A lot of people discovered the series because of Nexpo, which is a bigger YouTube channel. I remember when he did a review, this channel went from like something like 50,000 to like 100,000, 150,000 subscribers or something like that. Unfortunately, the series isn't really organically finding too many people on YouTube. But I think over time, as more people discover it, it might be kind of one of those things that kind of like grows. Do you have any plans for future series? I do have a couple plans. I have a couple ideas. I don't want to give them away, so I won't be able to talk about them, sorry. Because, you know, some of these ideas might want to pitch to someone, actually. So, and ideas are not exactly easy to come by. The good ones are, anyway. You know, I have a lot of bad ideas. I mean, I can talk to you about some silly ideas I had in the past, which I still might make animations for on my YouTube channel. But maybe not, just because it's not quite my style of humor. A long time ago, I was pitching ideas, and I came up with this idea for Spackle Man. And you know what spackle is? It's like for fixing holes in the wall and stuff. And basically, he's a superhero that like breaks into homicide, like crime scene units. Like, you know, when the police are trying to figure out the bullet trajectory of like homicide victims, like on Dateline. Except the thing is, he shows up and he fixes all the walls. Like the spackle just comes out of his hands and he just like scrapes it down. He's like a world-class carpenter or something, but it comes out of his hands. And then the police basically just stand there and like, well, dude, you can't be here. You can't be like airing the crime scene. It's a really stupid idea. I don't know. I thought it might be funny because it's just so dumb that sometimes the dumb ideas work. I saw your stuff on adults. If you were to pick another color for Mischief, what would you have picked? You know, initially, Mischief was actually a multicolored kind of like the character that I drew him from was a comic that I drew a long time ago, and he changed colors every frame. And he would like be multicolored. But I just chose pink because of I don't know, it just seemed like the most flamboyant color that you could have. And it's kind of contrasted with his personality, his voice, which is supposed to be scary and stuff, right? But he's like pink. I don't think if I were to, you know, choose a different color for him, I wouldn't really choose it. I think pink is the right one. Hey, Queen Elizabeth, thank you. I saw your stuff on Adult Swim as a bump, and I had seen you on YouTube, and I was kind of blown away to see you in the wild. Hey, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I did like kind of some those 1-minute animations for Adult Swim. It was almost 2 years ago, actually. Pretty cool to do something like that. You know. Maybe I might make some more in the future. I don't know. I've just been focusing on interface. Like I haven't been doing any commissions until this is done. You know, I need a breather after this. Like, oh, his pants look kind of weird. He looks like he's wearing a dress or something. Whatever. I'll fix it later. I've tried it out on my friends on the series, but they're lame. I mean, I don't blame them. Honestly, it's if you don't get past like the 4th episode, I can see why people would initially just be like, that's not for me. And even if they do get past that episode, maybe it's just still not for them because, you know, just like anything, there's lots of stuff that I don't really like to watch out there. I'm just making something for people like us, I guess, and people like myself, because it's kind of like what I think about when making music and stuff is I'm trying to make music that I want to listen to myself. Like when I'm making music, like I'm not trying to like make a certain genre of music, whatever. I'm just making whatever I think I would like to listen to. And the same goes for the animation, you know? And like it's kind of like you have to have faith that there's other people out there that will have the same taste as you when it comes to whatever it is that you're making. Metamorphema. I'm Brazilian, therefore I don't understand any word, but I can watch interface through your subtitles in Portuguese, and that is very great. Hey, Metamorphema, gracias. I don't speak Portuguese. I don't really know what to say, but thank you there. I try to get the episodes translated into as many languages as possible through the Discord. Unfortunately, YouTube really had to screw me over by removing community subtitles because it's just way more difficult now than it ever was before. I really don't know what their problem is, YouTube. They're adding all these new features and they're ones I personally don't care for. But they removed the one I do care about the most, which was community subtitles. You know? Because before, people would just like translate the videos automatically, and now I have to like organize, I have to like download all these files, upload them. It's just a big mess, basically. You know? But I'm gonna try to get these, you know, episodes translated into the most common languages. Because I know there's like a lot of fans all over the world. Radish, hey, wearing a Mischief hoodie with the multicolors. That's cool, man. Ooh, Tail Foundry. Why did you choose Umami? Hey, first of all, Events Crypto, thank you for that, my friend. I appreciate that. Hopefully they appreciate value over the years. I mean, maybe not initially, but who knows? In 5-10 years. Tail Foundry, why did you choose Umami? It's just because this was back in 2017, and chose Umami because I wanted like kind of like, you know how it's like salty and sweet. I guess Umami is just like kind of like saying savory almost. I just thought it made sense. Since then, since 2017, the word has become more popular among Westerners, people in North America, and so I've been having some. It's you know, sometimes I kind of regret that I just chose the word umami because it's so simple. It's just a word. It's like Apple, you know, like Apple computers. I had to do some I had to file some trademarks in order to protect my ability to use the name Umami. It's not cheap. But I think I'll be fine. I might have it be trademarked for animations and films. Science. Making art for yourself, and by extension people like you, I guess, is pretty respectable. I always feel pressure to lean into appealing a lot of people. I mean, yeah, science, like, here's the thing. You can take influence from other stuff. Like trap music, you know. I don't really like trap music that much because of the hi-hat that I feel like it's overused. And almost a lot of the songs sound the same almost. But you know, at the same time, I thought it does sound kind of cool, the hi-hat going like the really fast kind of. And so in Interface episode 23, the soundtrack actually kind of has a trap hi-hat in it, but the thing is I mixed it at such a low volume you can barely hear it, but you can hear it. And it kind of, because the thing was, the music was sounding too orchestral, and the actual soundtrack for Interface is kind of a blend of orchestral and electronic, and just adding a few things like that and some of the more distorted kind of drone sound into the orchestral soundtrack makes it feel more like it's part of the cohesive part of the web series. And I think it sounds cool. I think it's only in like the second 2/3 or something like that. I'm not really sure. Hey, thanks, SWAT team. Jack Nixon. Yeah, for freshies. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you know, I feel like the first couple episodes appeal to people who are more into like internet culture and memes. And because the rough nature of the drawings, it's almost like they kind of get it immediately. But if you were to show that to someone who's more just like watches regular things on TV, they might be kind of turned off by the style, the art style. And that's fine. But, you know, maybe once Interface is done, I'll try to make a trailer that kind of makes it feel more like, you know, like like, you know, normal people might be intrigued to watch the whole thing after they see the trailer, for instance, you know? Because you can make trailers feel kind of modern and like, I mean, that's the whole point of trailers, is get people to watch the movie or the series. It's essentially a movie once I put it all together. How long do you think the finale will be? I think it'll probably be about 10 minutes, maybe 11 minutes. I really love my Umami bird. Rather rant. Thank you for getting the Umami plushie. They've been all sold out, but next year I might do another one. Who knows? I don't know if I'll do another bird. I'll try something new, maybe. Have you ever drawn painted by hand? Have you ever considered selling original analog works? Sidekick streams. Actually, I started out doing paintings. I can show you some of them. So let me just pull up my website here. So, like, I've done paintings before I started animating my web series. I was doing paintings during my, you know, when I was editing videos and stuff for corporate companies and stuff like that. I was painting. But I made this one for my mom for Mother's Day, I think. And it's at her house. It's a blue jay. I don't know, it's kind of got like some abstract colors and stuff in here. This is a painting I did of a guy who huffed silver paint out of a spray can. This is another painting I did that was sold to the United States, down in the States. Another one here too. By the way, if anyone's interested in these paintings, they're going to be sold, I think, as an auction or something, because the person who collected a lot of these paintings has moved away, and they're putting them up for sale in the United States. I don't have them myself, so this would be a second sale. Some of these paintings will be available. I don't know how much they're going to be sold for. I imagine probably $200 or $300, maybe more. I don't really know, but you know, once that sale is live or whatever, I will post links in case anyone's interested. Ooh, okay, I'm trying to get through all the comments here. Let's see. Hey, Jay Jackson. Yeah, so I got the email from the record pressing company, and they said that the Corona Wave vinyl records have been finished. And now they're just waiting to give me a quote on shipping, which, I mean, I don't even want the quote, I just want them to send it to me. But hopefully next week they're going to send it to me, or they're going to put them on the truck and they're going to come to me, and it might take a couple more weeks because, you know, things move at a snail's pace up here. But as soon as I get them, I'm spending the entire day just packaging them, calling the mail truck company, and then just getting them sent out immediately with tracking, so you guys can get them as soon as possible, because I know you've been waiting a long time. I mean, I think I initially advertised that they'd be done in May or something, which was way too optimistic. I'm sorry for giving false hopes there. But I guess like the corona wave, the coronavirus kind of like screwed up everything here in Canada, so everything got slowed down. And but also I think like record like companies are selling more records now, and so there's more demand for records. When I first made the first one, I think it was they were still like growing, and now the record sales seem to be like kind of catching on like big time, you know, like. I mean, they were already catching on, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to make them in the first place. Hey, rather and let's see you next time. What are your plans with Umami? Do you want to do anything more than what you're doing now, or just chilling? Dallas Contreras. I don't really know. For now, I'm just fine, just kind of doing my own thing on YouTube. But who knows? Like maybe it might become a, you know, maybe some studio might back a bigger project, you know, and it might become a thing. It'll still be branded as Umami. I don't really know. I just kind of take it one day at a time. Much like this episode, because it's too overwhelming to think about. I just take one shot and I just complete that one shot and I don't think about the rest because it's like stresses me out how much I have to do. Would you ever sell Mischief in a plush worm form? I might, yeah, I might do that. A lot of people want him as a frog too, but I might do the worm form. It's just the thing is that one of the reasons why I made him a bird the first time around is because it's cheaper and more affordable and less material. If I were to make him like a noodle worm like he is, it would be longer and bigger and probably cost more money. Which, I mean, I don't have a problem with making more expensive merch. I just wanted to make it more reasonable because, you know, I don't want people spending that much money on them. Actually, it would have been like, you know, I don't know how much it would have been, but it would have been more. So we'll see. We'll see about what kind of plushes I can do. I also have to consider like how many I can sell and that sort of thing, and I have to order so many. But I don't know if I have to worry about that too much because those birds sold out way quicker than I thought they would. Like within a year. So thank you guys for ordering them. Hey, Craze Krabich. I was looking through your merch and I saw some of the posters and stuff. Hey, well, thank you, Craze Krabich. I'm happy you like them, and thank you. Hey, Nathan, thank you for that. What auction? Yeah, I mean, there's no details yet, but basically there might be an auction, like a eBay sort of thing with a bunch of paintings that I made like 10 years ago. Because, like I said, the person who acquired them is moving to. Can't bring them with them. I don't really have any details on that right now, so I can't really say until it's. But I'll let you guys know. You know, now that I moved into this new apartment, I have like a lot more space too, so I might be doing more paintings. I mean, I did the painting for, well, Carolina helped me a lot with this painting, the painting for the soundtrack, part 2. But it'd be cool to do more paintings too. Hold on there. Dan Whitcomb, hey, thank you, Dan. I very much appreciate that. Jack Nicholson. I don't Nixon. I mean, not Jack Nicholson. I don't always give her like my mom big paintings for Mother's Day. I usually don't really do anything, but I think one year I did a painting for her. So I mean, I usually just call. Q, if I may ask, is this the finale or... So yeah, this is the finale of Interface, and it's all part of the same universe. And then episodes, like I might make some shorts later on that take place within the same universe. Just not necessarily part of Interface like this series. One-off episodes that can stand alone on their own. I think maybe that might be what I might be doing, because Dan Whitcomb, what is your education/training career background? First time seeing a face to the art, and I'm a huge fan. Hey Dan, well thank you very much. So I guess I've always kind of like been into like drawing and stuff, and it's because my dad is a graphic designer, or he was a graphic designer. He's retired now, pretty much. I mean, he still does a few things, but and so I was always encouraged to draw and do art and stuff. And when I was a teenager, I used to make Lego animations. I used to make stop frame animations, clay, and that sort of thing. They were really cringy. Some of them are okay though. And entered some film festivals, you know, for youth and that sort of thing. And then high school came around and I didn't know what to do to go to university. And my dad went to an art school in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I thought, I'll just go to the same place. I'll, you know, go to an art school, I'll figure it out, right? So I went there, and they had a film program, film production. So I decided to major in film production. All throughout university, I was working like multiple jobs to pay for it. Like, I used to bus dishes or work in a parking booth. I was a lifeguard for some time. I used to do a lot of background acting in Halifax, because they would pay you for like, it's like minimum wage, but you work for like 12 hours and they give you a free lunch or dinner too. So it's kind of a good deal. Also, the work was like super easy. And I don't know, like there was like no jobs in Halifax either, so I didn't really have a choice. So I worked on in the background. I was a background actor in a few movies. You might have seen Hobo with a Shotgun. I was like, Caroline and I are both extras in that, like right at the end. There's a scene where they're like shooting the cops, and yeah, that's where we're shooting cops, like in some sort of like ghetto. And the thing is, it was weird. They're like, they didn't have any prop guns. They only had real guns, because Halifax, I mean, there's a film industry there, but we don't have like enough of a film industry that we have like a warehouse of fake guns. So the police were there, and the police were like the actual police, where police were like supervising the whole thing, and they just like handed out like real shotguns and everything to people. They gave some guy an Uzi, and some other guy had like a bazooka, like a real bazooka. And another thing is, someone gave some guy a mortar, and he's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" Like, we're supposed to, like, the scene was basically on the balconies of like this ghetto sort of building, shooting downwards, And this is a guy with like a mortar, and he doesn't know what to do with it. Like, what are you supposed to like? You're supposed to like put it on the ground and like launch it into the air. Like, I don't know. It was funny. That was like a pretty cold night, I remember. And Carolina got called out to go out there, and it was just do it because it's fun, you know. That movie, when they were making that movie in the city, it was kind of like a fun thing because a lot of people we knew were involved with the project, and it was a cool movie because it was like super like sci-fi, and it's like a sci-fi slasher. So Rutger Hauer in it, I guess, from Blade Runner. Hey, Mad Cat, thank you. Tyler Church. Hey, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Do you ever get burned out? How do you deal? Oh man, I get burned out all the time. But you know what? It's kind of like, you know, you just have to. You know what I find that helps is if I just sit here, I turn some music on, and I just open up Photoshop, and I just start drawing. The burning out of it kind of goes away, and I just get back into it. It's, you know, I find that it's very hard sometimes to come up with a script, and I do get a little bit burnt out sometimes. But I think I don't really know if there's a solution other than to just kind of relax, try not to force it too much, and but also, you know, even if you're not feeling like working, just go down there and try to do something, you know, one shot a day, whatever it is, or one drawing, whatever. So at least there's some progress. If you just get some small thing done, then you're a little bit step further than you were last time. That's the way I think about it. You have to kind of force yourself to work, and then eventually develop a habit. Do you think the technocrats are going to succeed in their final enslavement of humanity, or is there still hope for the human spirit and the will to live? John Deere. I don't know, man. We'll find out after Jeff Bezos goes into space, and hopefully his dildo-shaped rocket doesn't explode. Which a lot of people are hoping will happen. I mean, I obviously don't want that to happen, but his rocket ship literally looks like a dildo. It's kind of like, come on. Hey, Brent Sanner, I love interface. I want to say I don't want any of the finale spoiled for me. See how the sausage is made, etc. No worries, man. Thank you for the comment. Johnny Weaver, what is some merch you wanted to make but can't? Either because of cost or complexity. You know, I've actually been making more merch than I ever thought I'd be able to make. So the plushie was something I thought was only for like super big channels, and I managed to do it with only 250,000, so that's not so bad. I was pretty happy with that. Teespring has been very, very helpful and supportive. And I got another cool thing coming in December that I've been spending some time designing. It's another custom sort of thing. It's not a plushie, but you guys will find out later in the year. I've been able to make records. So I don't know. You know, I guess the one thing that I would want to make would be like better quality kind of like shirts and stuff, like almost like dress shirts, you know, but like kind of classy. Like I would still design it and it would be like umami themed, but it wouldn't be like branded. It wouldn't be like a, you know, soup sun on the front of it or something, but I don't know. Just so, you know, because I think there's some fans out there that like the merch, but they wouldn't necessarily wear the clothes because it's so loud, you know? But if there was a way for me to make something that was a little bit, I don't know, more stylish, I guess, that'd be kind of cool too. Maybe in the future, who knows? Let's see here. Hey, Animation Man, I saw your comments about the Turkish subtitles. I'm Listen, if someone in the audience here speaks English and Turkish and is willing to translate the last couple episodes, please email me or join the Discord. There's a community subtitle channel in the Discord. Otherwise, I can't really make Turkish subtitles because like I don't speak Turkish, obviously. You know, I could use Google Translate and they might be kind of like okay. You know what? Maybe I'll do that. I'll just, you know, there's like a program. I think I can just get some Turkish subtitles up. They won't be perfect, but they'll be better than nothing until maybe someone comes around and decides to do it properly, because I can't do it myself, sorry. But I'll put that on my to-do list, you know. I got a lot of things on my to-do list, but I almost need someone just to handle the subtitles, because it's like every episode has like 15 languages, and it's a lot to manage. Christian Kramer, what thoughts inspire your music composition? I don't really know. I mean, sometimes I hear music and I'm like, that sounds really cool. I want to like try to emulate that. And then I try to emulate it, but I don't emulate it, obviously, because I'm that great at sound, you know. But whatever I, you know, sometimes it like helps spur new ideas. I've been taking drum lessons, like I've been practicing the drums, and just learning about different instruments has kind of helped inspire me a lot, you know. Like for instance, on the violin and the viola, there's like all these different ways you can actually play it. It's not just legato, which is like long strokes that kind of blend in. It's more, you can play like there's spiccato and then there's staccato, which are, they're almost, I think they almost sound the same, but it's basically like a short kind of like in Interface episode 23. I used a mixture of, I think spiccato. I think I might be saying it wrong. And then there's also, I can't remember all the names. There's the one where you pluck the violin. It sounds like plunk, 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 plunk. And then there's also harmonics. So on the cello, you can play harmonics, which are, I think you like play it lightly, but then you like hold your finger somewhere so that it actually sounds like 2 octaves higher, I think it is, or is it 1 octave? I can't remember. But so you got this kind of like wispy, kind of high-pitched sound. So Interface episode 13, at the very beginning, you can hear some cello harmonics, which are very high-pitched sounding. Basically, just sounds kind of cool. I don't know. I just try to emulate things that I like listening to, and otherwise, a lot of it just comes instinctively, just messing around on the keyboard, you know. Cruzy 36. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And Hayden Compton. Thank you very much for the super chat as well. I'd pay an arm and a leg to see Mischief hit that Yonky Splonky. I'm not sure what the Yonky Splonky is, but you know, I could. Let's see here. About Chinese translation? And that's another thing too. Dream fluids. I don't know. I mean, you could try looking up the series on. I think it's called Baidu. Someone uploaded it to Baidu, which is like Chinese YouTube, and I think they might have put Chinese subtitles on it. You know, I don't really care if people re-upload my animations on the internet, because I mean, it would be a different story if I made a very like a feature film and you know, it was like on a festival circuit. But my goal with Interface is just to get people to watch it, so I don't really care if it's been like re-uploaded or not. You know, if people dig it, they'll look for my channel. That's my philosophy on that, I guess. Let's see. Tail Foundry. I always feel like I'm trying too hard with the art I make, but so many of your works feel impulsive and free. How do you get into that habit? Just make what comes? I mean, so, you know, with painting, it's actually kind of a frustrating thing for me. A lot of times I'll paint something and I think it looks like crap, and so I scrape it off. And sometimes my paintings are quite thick. They get a lot of like crap underneath them because, you know, the final product might actually look like it's like, oh, it looks like spontaneous and whatever, but it was a product of a lot of kind of aggravation. You know, there's definitely some episodes of Interface that were made in a very spontaneous way, that were done quickly without even really thinking about it. And those episodes were made primarily from just listening to the music that I made, because I used to make the music first, and just kind of like closing my eyes and seeing what would happen, like visually. And I can't really explain it any other way, really. It just if you're feeling like your artwork is forced, then maybe you kind of have to like trust yourself to just like let go a little bit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Is do more things with less quality, and also finish those things. It doesn't even matter if they're good or not, as long as you finish them, because then, you know, you don't have to release everything you make. I make a lot of music that I don't release, so, you know, make stuff, and then if it's crap, you can filter it out later. Same goes for painting and stuff. I mean, I made a lot of paintings that looks like crap, and that's what I'm saying. I paint over it because it just wasn't working. So I think you get like, if you're looking at like a blank canvas or whatever, you feel like it's too precious, like you don't want to ruin it, and you overthink what you're doing sometimes. And overthinking your art can kind of ruin it. It can make it like stagnant. And so I don't really know if there's what I can say to help you, other than just try to care less about what you're creating. And when you're done, then you can decide whether or not it's good enough to be released. that's I think that might be because, you know, if you care less, then you're more free to experiment, and sometimes that actually leads to cool things. You know, sometimes I draw stuff on here even for my own animations and it just doesn't look good, so I just don't use it. But you know, that's the way I look at it, I guess. Digital is so great because your changes don't cake on and you can do different layers to see the way you prefer. Yeah. No to 7. Hi, have you already been awarded for your work on YouTube? If not, you should. Well, I have a silver plaque from YouTube. No to 7. They gave me my 100,000. So, you know, also, you know, back in the day, back in 2018, whatever, I was featured by YouTube on their, like, Creators on the Rise, I guess, for Canada, which I was like, that's cool, but, you know, I was like, oh shit, it's different from the Creators on the Rise in the United States, because they don't, like, it doesn't go out to the Americans, it goes out to the Canadians, and we're like 20th the size of their audience. So I think I got like 15,000 views or something really small from it, but whatever. I mean, it was pretty nice to be recognized by YouTube, like their staff, you know. This is okay. Let's see. I can imagine interfaces impact on those who are facing their own shadows. I support the artist's cause to spread the experience. Yeah, that's yeah, it's kind of, I don't really like, I don't even, when I started interface, I didn't really necessarily even think that was what the series was going to be about, you know. I don't know, maybe it just kind of, recently I read this book, Carl Jung's Man and His Symbols, and he talks a lot about that, the shadow and all these different characters that exist within you, basically. And I mean, I sort of knew about them from before, like screenwriting class teaches you about archetypes. But it was kind of surprising how it felt like almost a lot of the character traits and things within the series were basically things that Carl Jung had described as recurring motifs within, like, your subconscious. And that's probably from me kind of coming up with a story and stuff just by listening to music, like instinctively coming up with a script rather than writing it, you know, consciously, kind of just visualizing what might happen rather than thinking about it, you know. I wonder. This is an odd question. Do you ever feel put off by your own creation, like, oh dang, this creeps even me out, maybe I went too far? It's something that I think about with my own work a lot. Denmo McStrong Huge. Well, I like your name. I mean, I haven't really made things on my Umami channel that are excessively gory. Even the the face coming off and Sonic the Hedgehog going through a chain link fence, I wouldn't really call that super gory. You know, the only thing that there's a few things, I guess, that I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't release this. which was the Grubhub video I made, because when I released it, I felt like, or when I was about to release it, I was like, is this going to come across as being preachy, like on the nose? You know, if there's one thing I really dislike, it's animation that is on the nose and like preachy, you know. I find it like almost kind of unbearable, actually. And I thought, you know, maybe it's kind of preachy, but I don't know if it's that bad. It does kind of reflect the reality of our time in some ways, and so I just decided to release it and stop thinking about it so much. And it's one of my most popular videos, so but I still, like, when I release it, I didn't monetize it. I just put a link because I didn't like, I felt like weird, like I was like making this thing about homelessness, right? And I'm gonna monetize a video and make money off of it, you know what I mean? And like so I just put like a shelter link in the credits. I didn't want to monetize it because I don't know, that was probably the only video I felt kind of weird about. But then, you know, some people were like, it really doesn't matter that much, and I'm just overthinking it. So that's definitely probably the case as well. And then maybe like three weeks after it got released, the video was claimed by the company that made that really crappy music, even though it's like a muffled in the video. And so it is monetized now, but they're taking the revenue from it. So that's kind of annoying. Some people said they saw the Grubhub commercial on the video. Synchro 505. Hey, thank you, man. Christian Kramer. To me, Mischief from episode 1 felt like a symbolic guide, similar to what Carl Jung explains with the archetypes. I know it might be an unhealthy habit to attach myself to ideas, but I feel seen here. That's interesting that you say, even from episode 1, he felt sort of like a symbolic guide, when he doesn't really even, I guess maybe like episode 2, he's like, come with me, like he's like, I'm gonna guide you around the city. Or episode 4, when they're like really starting to look at things together. Echo Sigma. It hits the nail on the head. Sometimes no words can speak volumes. Yeah, man. You know, the thing is, like, some people thought I was like that sign that I drew on the window, or that said like COVID fines up to $6,000. They thought that was like a joke or whatever, but like that's like actually what the fines were like in Montreal. I'm not even making that up. I just copied it from the website. And there was a homeless man that froze to death in a porta potty because they kicked them all out of the metro system, and You know, the housing price in Canada has increased exponentially the past couple of years. The shelters were also kicking people out at that time because of the COVID. So these homeless people had literally nowhere to sleep, and this was the middle of the winter time. And then eventually, I think after that guy died, the mayor of the city decided to open up a shelter in some sort of gymnasium or something. But it's like I've been saying since this pandemic started, and the cure should not be worse than the disease itself. And I honestly feel like a lot of the things that the government has done has been worse than the disease. But you know, I don't know. Maybe that's a controversial thing to say. I try not to talk about politics too much on my channel. Grubhub claiming it means that they acknowledge the message and accept it. Hey, Ghosty. Hey, Umami, I love your stuff. Hey. Well, thank you for the comment there, Ghosty. Scumlord. Hey, I'm happy that you found some inspiration as well. What time is it over here? It's 12:30 at night, actually, so I don't know how much longer I'll be doing this because it's a Sunday night. Let's see here. I'm getting adding a little bit of orange to his belt buckle. It's kind of like a reflective thing. Oh, I forgot to color his tie. And his face. Is Henrik's suit Mischief? I remember he's wearing blue, but now it's pink, which is Mischief's color. So in Interface episode 4, I think it is, when they're in the museum, or is it 5? Mischief kind of infuses himself with Henrik for a moment, and so Mischief can see through Henrik's eyes, but he can't really read his thoughts or anything. I guess it's just like one of the things that Mischief is able to do. It's just kind of like a weird ability he has, and I did not think about how or why when I was doing it, so it's just a character trait he has, I guess, now. But what I think it does is it almost like it like allows Henrik, it like broadens his perspective for a moment, because just for an instant he's able to see. He doesn't like necessarily understand everything Mischief understands, but he has like that like access to it, like within his consciousness or something. So he becomes like more free when he wears the pink suit, like he's making a change. And so in the museum, him accepting Mischief into his life to kind of take him around, and was kind of like him taking the first step to resolving the problems that he has. So I guess that's, I mean, kind of what's happening here too. Mad cat. There are some people now who are never leave their house again. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this economy, man. Like, I don't feel like it's sustainable. Don't know where this world's going right now. You know, I get stressed out just thinking about it. And thankfully, I've just have my artwork to focus on. And it really, it actually puts me at ease because in the grand scheme of things, what am I supposed to do about all that stuff I can't control, you know? But I can control my drawings, making music, and that's all I really care about right now, so. Do you make storyboards for each episode? World of Andrew. I don't because I'm pretty much working with myself here in Carolina sometimes. So I just I have like I kind of like know what's gonna happen in my head, and so I don't bother doing storyboards. Though when I did those like shorts for Adult Swim, I think the first two of them I storyboarded them. And then after that, I was just like, just started drawing episodes. I can't remember what I did, but because they wanted me to like pitch them ideas before I drew them, obviously, right? And so came up with storyboards and that sort of thing. But you know, so all you need is like a stick figure, basically. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. What are your thoughts on modern copyright law? So I guess there's a lot of people out there who, you know, are making videos these days and they're relying on fair use and that sort of thing. But I'm honestly kind of in the minority where I'm happy with how the copyright laws are. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube that use other people's creative works and they get upset when copyright comes to bite them in the ass. But, you know, I know this stuff enough to avoid running into major problems. And I feel like if I create original stuff, I don't have to worry about any of that sort of thing. So, you know, that's how it's going to be. I think the copyright laws, you know, as much as they are protecting corporations, they're also protecting artists. You know, some people may say they're disproportionately protecting corporations, but, you know, it's kind of nice knowing that I'm going to be creating this web series and I'm going to have the copyright for it for my entire lifetime, and possibly even beyond that, whoever inherits, you know, my animations, I guess, because it is a lot of work. And with music and stuff, you know, as long as you don't sell the rights to your music and stuff, you still own them yourself. You know, I feel like people need to just start creating more original, some of their more original things on their own, and they would be less upset about the copyright laws as they are today. I saw your community post on an early Mischief in Henrik in '09. Has interface been planned? A long time planned thing. Doc Scoo. Yeah, I don't really know what the deal was, but I drew like this like poster back in 2009 that said interface on it, and it was like Mischief, like looking up. It's like the main poster that I have for it, and I knew back then in 2009 that I wanted to make something using this character, and I don't even know why I chose the word interface. I just like thought it sounded cool or something. But it took me until 2017 or 18 to actually start making something. At the time before then, I was making documentaries and that sort of thing, and a lot more serious sort of thing. And my friend encouraged me to make silly animations, like just make some dumb shit on YouTube, right? Like, and that's what I did with the McDonald's video, and it sort of became more serious over time. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that it was something I've been planning for that long, but Mischief kind of existed as a character since 2009. I just never really used him in anything besides my own sketchbook. Duggerson, yeah, the stuff that I made for Adult Swim, I think if you just type in Adult Swim Umami, you'll probably find them. There's 4 videos, and they're all like 16:9. They're like widescreen. No to 7. Since you live in Montreal, can you speak French? I asked because I remember the announcement in the museum. Yeah, I can speak French. I can speak basic French. It's not something I do every day though, because Carolina doesn't really. I mean, we learned French. I went to French classes here for 6 months after I got laid off from my job back in 2014 or 13, whatever it was. So I speak French now, yeah. Though, you know, as soon as people hear my accent, they pretty much switch over to English. I don't really have that much time to speak French, you know, until I have to go to the hospital, you know, a couple times a year. It's some condition I have, and the nurses only speak French to me, so that's where I get the most practice. Any plans on a live viewing party on YouTube once the full cut is released? Christian Kramer or Kramer? Sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but I might do like a live, like when part 1 came out, I released it live. Otherwise, probably nothing. Probably not like a full. I'm not gonna like combine 1 and 2 and then have a full, because then there's like then my anime, then it's on the YouTube channel like 3 times. I'm gonna try to like get it into a film festival, but I don't know if they're gonna accept it because it's already been on the web. But maybe some festival will accept it. That'd be kind of cool. Do you get Juggalo comments often because of Mischief? Tail Foundry. You know what? I actually don't really get that many at all. I read pretty much all my comments, and I don't really get any Juggalo comments, actually. I don't think I ever did once, not even once. Are Juggalos still a thing? I find the whole fan base to be very strange. Like it's a strange musical group to rally around, and then their music is also strange. I remember watching the remake of Solaris with George Clooney in it, and there's this one scene where they're on the spaceship and they're playing this music, and it's Riddlebox by the Insane Clown Posse. And I looked it up because I was like, that's a weird sounding music. That's like strange, right? And that's where I actually discovered Juggalos. Otherwise, before then, I had no idea what they were, because I don't think it's really a thing up here in Canada. It might be bigger down in the United States. This was like a long time ago, though. This was like 2009. Matthew Garcia, what is your music composition process like? I imagine you do animation first, or at least have an idea about the story before you write the music. Matthew, actually, I mean, that's the thing. For most of my animations, I'd made the music first because I didn't know where to take the story, and the music was like kind of like guiding me along. So I would just make something on the piano or whatever, and then I would make the episode around the music, and maybe that's why the music fits so well, is because basically the music came first. The Vincent, I don't like the disdain towards English-speaking people just because French is official. It's cringe. You know, I totally understand where people are coming from, though, when they are French and they're like, you know, our language is basically disappearing. Montreal is turning into an English city again, almost, you know. So I do the part I can to try to speak French, when needed, but I am from Nova Scotia, so it's just not who I am. Who does the voice for Mischief? Is it just a pitched down version of your own voice? Yes, it is. Just me, but I talk differently. I talk kind of more like this, with a more gravelly kind of voice. Are you familiar with the TV series Mr. Robot? I feel some of the oppressive, technocratic, and psychologically involving themes relate to that series. I think my mom recommended me to watch it, but I hadn't seen it yet. I think it might be on Netflix, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it. Are there any spaceships in the series yet? No. Well, I mean, also, unless you count the baby blimp thing, not really a spaceship. You know, I've thought about doing a series that kind of takes place in space, but don't really have anything solid yet, so. Montreal is basically Toronto, but just North French is pretty widely used. I visit Trois-Rivières often enough to hear that. Yeah, I mean, I've been up to Trois-Rivières, and pretty much everyone speaks French up there, so. And, you know, pretty much anywhere except for Montreal is like French. So if you want to go anywhere in Quebec, you gotta speak French. You know, except for Mont Tremblant, just because a lot of Americans go up there. The tourism industry is like geared towards English speakers. Toronto probably has more like Hindi though. Maybe Chinese, I don't know. Mandarin. Ezra Preston. I'm a simple man. I see an Umami live stream. I throw money his way. Keep it up. The excellent work, dude. Hey, Ezra. I just really appreciate that. Thank you very much for the super chat. Wink Jones. Is there a current release date for the final episode? I'm trying to get it done before the end of the summer. So today is July 12th. Hopefully it's done near the end of August. It's just there's a lot of shit going on in this episode, so it's taking me a long time. That's my planned date. I mean, it's not a plan. It's not set in stone, but it's my goal. I want to kind of get it done before the school season starts up again, so that, you know, people aren't like busy with schoolwork. And also, then it's complete. People can be like, hey, did you see this thing that just got finished? You know? That's kind of my goal for completion. Also, then the soundtrack for episode part 2 is being made right now. And so, around the end of the summer, I think it will be a lot closer. There won't be much of a wait for the physical finals to come out. Like the Corona Wave ones took forever, but yeah. Segi, oh my goodness, is this even real life right now? Yes, this is real. Aiden, gotta hit the sack because I got a road trip tomorrow to Florida. Hey man, have a good trip. That sounds like fun. See you next time, dude. Matthew Garcia. I just want to say I love your work and it has inspired my own creativity. Waiting on the Mischief jacket to come in. Hey Matthew, thank you for that. Is there a way to directly, privately message you? What is the fastest route other than a message in a bottle? Segi, I don't know if it's, or Sagi, I don't know how to pronounce your name. You can email me. info@hexsystem.com. I just posted it there in a chat. And I do get a lot of messages, so I can't respond to like everyone, but just I'll get back to you for sure. So, do you know Digilux Recreational Videos? I don't like know him, and I don't know him personally, but he's in my Discord, and I think he's been in there for a long time, and I talk to him sometimes. In the Discord, but not so much recently. I don't know what he's been up to recently. I haven't really been checking my Discord as much as I should be. It's just not, you know, it's not necessarily a thing I'm into, which is kind of, I mean, some of the fans might be kind of disappointed to hear, but like, I can't spend too much time. It's a distraction basically for me, you know? And they would much rather me spend my time animating than Discording. Will you still be making more music after Interface is going to have the same vibes as Interface soundtrack has. Sullivan Deffinger? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to like keep the vibe of my music consistent forever, but it's going to sound similar. Like it's kind of just a byproduct of me making it. I've been making another album kind of secretly that I don't know when it will be finished, but I've been composing the tracks and hiring session musicians to record them. So like real violin and piano and viola, and I think it makes a difference. It really sounds quite it sounds real. Obviously it's real stuff. Do you have any tips for writer's block? Also, you have a really soothed Bob Ross ASMR voice. Well, I'm trying to keep my voice down because it's like midnight here, and I don't want like my neighbors annoyed with me if they can hear me at all. But to answer the question about writer's block, let me just think about that for a second, because I have that problem sometimes. You know, what it is for me to overcome writer's block is just to do different things creatively. So if I'm having a hard time writing the script, I'll just sit down and make some music. And you know, if I can't think of anything for the script, I'll just draw a picture. So like on my community page, I was just drawing some pictures because I was having like writer's block, like a block, you know, and I just wanted to do something. But sometimes I do paintings too, you know, or maybe just go for like a camping, you know, like I was having like some sort of creative block last summer, and then we went to camping. Well, we didn't go camping, but we went to go hiking up in Mont Tremblant, and that's where I was kind of inspired to make Chimney Alfonso, because I was at the top of the mountain looking at all those forests, the trees and stuff, and I was like thinking about, like I was like looking at like this house that was like way out in the distance. I just imagined like the camera just from my perspective just zooming in on that house. And then I had like a dumb thought in my head. I was like, what if it just zoomed into the chimney and there was like a man inside there? So that's how Chimney Alfonso. And sometimes that's all you need, is just to kind of like get outside and exercise and do different things. Help you, you know. But I know, you know, another technique people have is people just you force yourself, like 20 minutes a day, force yourself to just write something. Doesn't have to be good, it might be crap, probably be crap. And once you get in that habit, it'll start coming out naturally more often. That's another technique people have. It's not necessarily one that I use though. Do you personally believe the interface will exist in reality should we press the button? I don't think it's going to exist necessarily, not anytime soon, maybe in 1,000 years, but I think the idea of interface is not literally so much being entrapped in a digital computer, but the kind of like if you think about it metaphorically, allowing things to control us. Governments, that sort of thing, or, you know, these artificial barriers. And the reality is we're just a bunch of people on a planet, and we have these rules set up so that we have civilization, but these rules were created by other human beings, not necessarily, they don't serve the reason why we're here. And I really do value freedom and that sort of thing. And that's kind of just what I try to get across in this series, is the value of freedom. What digital studios? Sorry, Matthew Garcia, thank you for the super chat. I'll get your question in a second. I'm just gonna read one more first. What digital studio programs do you use? Yeah, so actually, Tail Foundry, I think it might be in the description, in my FAQ near the bottom, but I use Logic Studio on the Mac, and it basically, it's all I use, really. I think it's a great software. It's really, really worth it. It's a couple $100. The only downside is you're gonna have to buy a Mac computer, which is expensive. But you won't be able to get anything close to it in the price range. Windows PC, so you're basically paying for the software on the PC, but anyway. Logic Studio is a really great software. That's what I like. Matthew Garcia, alright, 2 of my messages read. Amazing. Thank you so much. Like I said, I love your stuff, and it is so cool seeing you live and interacting. Hey, thanks, Matthew. I appreciate that. Thought that was a question, but I know, I appreciate the comment, man. Thoughts on brutalism? I kind of like brutalism, like, to some degree. The thing is, there's a lot of brutalist architecture in Canada, and a lot of it is like really bad brutalism. Just like ugly brown metal, like gray brown buildings. But I think there's some brutalism out there that looks cool. I think there's like a library in New York City. I think it's brutalist. I can't really remember. I need some examples. A lot of it just kind of looks pretty rough, but aesthetically it's kind of cool to look at too. Sorry, it's not really a insightful answer to your question. Maslin Bruner. Hey, how's it going? Hey, host of Michael. I live in Montreal too. Can a series of mirrors be set up so I can watch the live stream extra live through the window? Maybe. What's up? My room that I'm working in right now doesn't have any windows, so it's got a skylight though. Seen any good movies or videos recently that you liked? Okay, so the most recent movie that I saw that really blew me away was Parasite, which is a South Korean film. I think it's called Parasite, right? Yeah. And I went into it not knowing anything about the film. I thought it was like some sort of like, it's like about poor people, but it would be about the struggle of poor people or something, and like, it would be this kind of sad story. And there are parts of it that are sad, and it is about people who are poor, but the actual movie is so much more than that. It's insane, and it's hilarious and so funny, and there's like it's scary too at the same time, and like there's like scenes where you're just sitting there and you're like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, what is she doing? Like, it just lose your mind. Like, you really get into it. And Parasite, I think that's a 10 out of 10 for me. I experienced so many emotions watching that movie. It was amazing. So if you haven't seen Parasite yet, definitely check that one out. Are you a Chuck Palahniuk fan by chance? I would love to see a collaboration. Oh man, if I had to collaborate with Chuck Palahniuk, that would be pretty intense. I wouldn't say I'm like a fan, but I've definitely read some of his stories and I appreciate them, and they're really messed up. I've read some of his stuff when I was younger, and yeah, I definitely appreciate his writing, but I'm not like I don't know. I wouldn't be able to even name the names of the books, the short stories that I read, because I'm not like super into his stuff. But I know who he is for sure. Parasite is my fiance's favorite film. Awesome choice. Okay, so another good film that I saw. Well, this is the second time I saw it, but Michael Mann's movie, Thief. Oops. Oh god. Okay. Is one of my favorites. And Thief by Michael Mann, probably in my top 10. Yeah. Maslin Bruner, got any new merch ideas? I do got some new stuff coming. I got a jigsaw puzzle coming, and it's got this fully customized box, and the bottom has like a special surprise, and the drawing on the jigsaw itself is like completely original. I don't know when those are going to be ready. I think they'll be ready around late fall. So that's something new. Once you see the box, you guys will lose your mind, because the box I spent so much time on. It looks cool. I feel like something like China's social credit system will extend worldwide. At that point, it wouldn't matter if we could interface with the machines, not in the eyes of the powerful. Yeah, I mean, we're already kind of at that point, even when we're not living in China, because, you know, if you want a job, your employer is going to look up your Facebook page. If you don't have a Facebook page, they might be like skeptical about who you are. You don't have a LinkedIn page. It's almost like you need to prove yourself. You have to have like a digital footprint, otherwise you're not legitimized. So even though it's not law, we're already being affected by these sorts of things. And definitely in the future, unless there's some sort of massive overhaul of legislation, things are just going to get worse. You know, credit cards are already deciding who and who cannot be processed payments, which is obscene, because if we're moving away from cash, physical cash, everything's digital, it's almost like access to banking should be a human right and not so much something that they can deny service of, unless you're doing something illegal, which a lot of people that are being denied services from credit card companies aren't doing anything illegal. Anyway, Nathan Manzi, thank you for your art. The art, story, and music of Interface are genuine inspiration for me. What influenced your writing of the story and Interface? Hey, well, Nathan, thank you very much for the super chat. I don't really know what it was that kind of that made me want to write the story. It kind of came as I made it. The first couple episodes were spontaneous, and it sort of came together when I decided to piece these episodes together. I knew I sort of wanted to make a kind of a story about some guy that starts out like he's upside down. There's a screenwriting, my screenwriting teacher from university gave us basically a really basic rundown of what a script should be. It doesn't should be, but it helps to have it, start with your script and your character is like this. Alright, and then by the end of the script, your character is like this. That's basically what he said, which means there's a problem that needs to be resolved. And I thought about the problems that an immortal character might have, and he would outlive his family and all that sort of thing and become depressed, and then there might be other things that are wrong with him, like maybe he didn't even just outlive his family, but he actually caused the death of some of them, and he has to live with it forever. These are just things I thought, and tried to incorporate into the series, and I can't really explain where it came from, It just sort of happened. I have to check out that Michael Mann film then. Thomas Morris. Yeah, Thief is an excellent Michael Mann film. Manhunter is another very good Michael Mann film. And obviously Heat is the one that he's best well known for. But I really like Thief and Manhunter as well. Very good ones. And some people didn't like Miami Vice, like the remake, the movie, but I thought it was pretty good. And Collateral is also an excellent Michael Mann film. I'm a huge Michael Mann fan, so pretty much every movie he makes, I see it. And I think he's making a new one now, so I'm gonna have to see that when it comes out. Will there be a Drew Langlois collab? I don't know, man. Apparently he's Canadian, but I haven't actually spoken to him before. I've spoken to a lot of animators on YouTube. I have not spoke to him. But maybe someday we might do a collab, because we both worked with the Minute Hour, and the Minute Hour is he's like a really he's kind of like he's really supportive of animation on YouTube, and I think it's he's like he brings a lot of animators together just with his shorts and his ideas and the stuff that he puts out on his channel. What inspired you to make Interface? Well, I just answered that. Sorry, Miguel, if you just joined. But you should watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. I had no idea what that was, and then I watched the last episode a couple days ago, and I was like, what the hell is going on? But the animation was insane. Yeah, that was I don't know if I can get into that, but it's weird when I was watching it, because I was like, what? This is like parts of this are like my own web series, like Interface. I've never seen the movie before, but It's weird. I don't know what else to say. It's trippy. Have you ever tried 3D animation? I am doing some 3D animation using Cinema 4D, but I'm trying to get away from that because it's I don't really like doing 3D animation that much. I find it slows me down too much. So the 2D animation actually kind of just looks more interesting visually, in my opinion. So I might just stick with 2D and only use the 3D when I really need to. I saw part of your first episode on Off the Air stream on Adult Swim. Did you collab with them or on other work for Adult Swim? DFT Tricks. I made 4 1-minute shorts for them, and that's about it. So, I could reach out to them and do something more for them probably. I've basically been focusing on my web series, and that's about it. So, and I've kind of decided that as cool as it is to have the clout of saying I made something for Adult Swim, if it's not a pilot or something more serious, it doesn't really make sense for me to continue making animations for them because I don't own them in the end. And in the end, they all go onto YouTube, so I might as well just make it for myself on YouTube. So who knows? There might be another collab with Adult Swim in the future. I might come around and do something for them, But this way, I don't even have to pitch them the ideas. I can just do whatever the hell I want. I mean, they were pretty creatively lenient. Honestly, they most I would say out of most broadcasters, they gave you a lot of creative leeway. I didn't think I was going to be able to color this whole thing in one stream, but looks like I only have one shot left. Oh, I'll color his mustache though. Do you enjoy to play games like Stardew Valley? Do you find that your music tends to be stream of consciousness? It's kind of stream of consciousness. It is definitely actually stream of consciousness, and then after I go in and I tweak it a lot. I never played Stardew Valley. I've been playing this game Hunt Showdown since it came out. It's the only game I play. And it came out 3 years ago. I don't know what's wrong with me. I got paid $30 for it. And I got way more value out of it than paid. It's good. It's a good multiplayer hunting game. It's not a hunting game, but you just look up some trailers. It's kind of cool. That's about the only game I play right now, though. I played that Black Mesa remake. They remade Half-Life 1, I think, using the Source 2 engine. I played that last winter. I think I beat it in like a week or two. I also tried to play
Cyberpunk when that came out, because I played The Witcher 3 back in 2016, and I thought it was going to be really good. And honestly, I just got bored. I played it for about 3.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, every other day or so for a few, and then I just decided that this game is a grind and I don't enjoy it, so I haven't played it since. And yeah, I don't really play too many video games anymore, just the Hunt Showdown. That's about it. What's your favorite Boards of Canada album? Oh, man, I don't know. I've listened to them so much that I actually don't know which albums go together, because I listen to them like all the songs like mixed together. I think Reach for the Dead, I think that's the name of the song. I own that album. I don't know if it's my favorite though. Twoism is a good album. I think that's the name of the album, Twoism. But I don't have it. I'd have to like look at the. I don't have all the. I wouldn't be able to know. Sorry. Have you seen the movie Fingers? No, man, I haven't. Sorry. What's that about? Do you believe any of your side characters of the series could have their own short story that you would like to tell? If so, which ones? I don't know. I mean, Interface, I feel like none of the side characters have been designed so that they have like something I feel like I need to explore. If anything, it would be like some of the other characters in my that aren't in Interface, like Barry and Hands, or the Soup Son or something. I don't know. Sorry, man. I'm just kind of tired now. Trying to get this last guy colored in here and go to bed because it's kind of late. Hey, Flylo, what's going on, man? Guess it's not late over there. It's probably like 8 p.m. It's like 1 in the morning over here, though. Will this stream be really uploaded? Because I'm afraid I won't be able to be on here much longer. Well, Pelumo, I'm almost done here, but you can find all my live streams on my channel. Just go to the playlist page and just go click on the live stream playlist, and you'll see all the live streams I made since 2017. And you will also find that in my earlier live streams I was camera shy and also nervous talking to an audience of people. Now I don't really care that much anymore. I kind of got over that from live streaming. I mean, it's kind of unnerving when you start live streaming for the first time, you know, like you're just talking to strangers basically. You can also find some strange shit, like when I tried to model the Olympic Stadium here, and it looks like an Oreo that someone stomped on. And then one of the fans felt so bad about it that they modeled it for me. Isaiah Felix, I wanted to ask you if you have any advice for motivation on projects. I'm an animator and I have tons of unfinished projects. Well, Isaiah, I will say the one mistake that you're making is you're not finishing your projects. They don't have to be good, but you have to finish them. I mean, I have a lot of unfinished music, so I mean, I'm kind of like, you know, but at the same time, I do finish other music. So for animation, just scale down the scope of your project to the point where it's manageable, okay? Give yourself some constraints, artificial constraints, like it's only going to be 20 seconds long. I'm only going to use 5 colors, okay? I'm only going to have 2 characters or something. And use those constraints to come up with a story, and you'll force yourself to think of something creatively. Like you'll think of it will help you think of something, because you're, instead of having everything in the world you could possibly make, suddenly the scope of ideas has been filtered down to very small, and this big project suddenly isn't so difficult because you got these very rudimentary things that you can work with. I do that with my own animations. As you can see, I'm only using 640 by 480 as a resolution. I'm only using these colors over here. And well, for the most part, the animation was pretty basic. So if you just scale down the scope of your projects, motivation shouldn't become too difficult. The thing is, though, is that you have to finish whatever it is you make, because if you have a bunch of unfinished stuff out there, that in itself can be demotivating, because you haven't had a chance to share it with anyone. You can't put it out on the web and see if there's a reaction. When I made the McDriven video, it was kind of like a test, almost, to see if anyone would respond to the video in the first place. And had I not finished the video, and I just gave up and said whatever, and this, you know, then maybe the whole channel might have not even been started, you know. So that's my advice. Just scale down the scope of what you want to do, and finish whatever it is that you start. Matthew Garcia. Yeah, I'm going to try to stream more often, because now I moved into this new apartment, and last couple of weeks I've been really busy, but I should be okay now. Christian Kramer. I think the 3 differences between Henrik, Mischief, and Ekarokume, or the octopus, are interesting. One can change their color, one chooses not to, and Henrik can't change at all, and he's the only human. That's actually an interesting insight that I never even considered, but that's pretty that's cool, man. I mean, that's something I never thought about. I mean, okay, almost. Just got color in his face here. Did you go to school for animation or digital design or something? Rodrigo, I went to an art school to learn painting and film production, and that's where I learned a lot of things, mostly screenwriting and what goes into making films and lighting and stuff. Lighting was actually probably one of the most important things I learned in film school, because I used to make like films and stuff as a teenager without lights because I didn't have lights, but I don't know, lights pretty much make or break the visuals of your film. Yeah, I think sorry, I just answered this question a little bit earlier in the live stream. So I went to film school, and that's where I pretty much learned most of my stuff. But that's not where you learn everything, you know. I didn't learn animation in film school. This is kind of something I started on my own in 2017. I graduated in 2012. Random question in episode 9, Chef says, the weak are meat and the strong do eat. Is this a nod to Cloud Atlas? It's a recurring line in the film. And I just wanted to... You know what? I haven't seen that movie in a long time. And I was not aware that it is a recurring theme from the film. But I just want to say that Cloud Atlas is, in my opinion, a very underrated movie. It's probably one of the most creative movies that came out in the past 15 years. And it's got elements that are cool, like sci-fi, and it's got a great soundtrack. I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger deal when it came out. I don't know. And I like the Wachowskis very much. Wasn't super into their Sense8 television series. I was not into that movie with what they made with what's her name? There's another space movie they made probably after Cloud Atlas. It wasn't very good. Obviously, The Matrix is amazing. They're making The Matrix 4. Did you guys hear about that? Only one of the Wachowskis is involved, so I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully it's okay. Okay, so there's Henrik running. That's what I did. What's your favorite stroke thickness? I don't know, man. I guess 5. I mean, I don't know, like what. Usually I draw. Okay, I don't like this. I don't go at 0 or 1. Just enough so that there's a very subtle amount of pressure difference when I, So I guess 5. That's what I do all my line work when at the slow resolution too. Jupiter Ascending. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy that movie. Interface has inspired me to make my own story in writing at first, but I wonder how I'm going to tackle the feeling I got without recreating your series story arc. hey man, you know, even if you did, it's not the worst thing to do, because what you're gonna find is, even if you are using something as a base, you're gonna rewrite it. You're gonna want to rewrite it. So you write something and it might be very similar to something that you enjoy, but then you're gonna come up with your own ideas, and you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna do this instead, or I'm gonna change this and that. And you know, I find like when I write stuff, and it's all based on things I've seen before. You know, a lot of these elements I'm incorporating from movies that I've already watched, like Ghost in the Shell. There's elements of the robot there, and female robot, and there's you know, the idea that there's like cerebral electricity that you can keep within yourself and combine with other people and that sort of thing. And then there's like the baby blimp thing. It wasn't actually inspired from the Matrix, but there's like some concept art from the Matrix when they meet the machine god, and it sort of looks like the baby blimp. They did not use the concept art that they developed at the time though. What else? Yeah, I mean, the octopus chef is like, I don't think it's like a super original concept. I've definitely like lifted it from something I've seen in the past. But you make it your own in the end, so that's what I'm saying, right? It doesn't really matter. Eventually, like, you'll make it your own, unless you're literally copying it word for word, you know? What about Tenet? I tried watching Tenet a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't watch it because the sound mix was very bad. I don't know. I've liked Interstellar is one of my favorite movies. I was watching Tenet, and it reminded me of The Dark Knight, the Batman movie, where there's this constant music, and a lot of scenes that just felt like they were placed there to look cool. I don't. It wasn't for me. I didn't like it. I liked his Interstellar movie a lot, though. Couldn't get into Tenet. Jupiter ascending is absolutely unfucking soakable. I don't know what soakable means in that context, but I remember I saw it in the theaters because I was looking forward to seeing a new Wachowski movie, and I was sorely disappointed. Are you curious of trying other software programs for future projects? I thought about using Clip Studio Paint, but I personally, I've tried it, and although it is way better than what I'm using now, I kind of just like the simplicity of Photoshop. Ever seen The Big Les Show? David here. I did discover The Big Les Show around the time I was making my channel, and I love The Big Les Show. It's great. My sister moved to Australia, so she's gonna be neighbors with Clarence. Alright guys, I'm done for night. It's almost 2 p.m. 2 a.m. I mean 2 a.m. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. Thank you for the super chats, and we'll be working on the interface episode 24. Corona Wave vinyls, by the way, should be they're finished. They're being made. They are made. They're coming to me, and I'm going to be shipping them out. So there's that. And yeah, sorry if you're just joining, but I was here for a couple hours, and now I need to go to sleep. So good night, everyone. And catch you all next time. Thanks again. Bye.